Hi guys, I'm back again. It's only been a month this time though, so I think we're progressing somewhat. Somewhat. Next video will be out next week, I think. Anyway, so this time I'm going to be talking about a topic that I think has resurged a lot, and it's something that I have been thinking about a lot more. So we're going to be talking about it. Oh gosh, I need to hold my mic. So basically, what I will be talking about is the constant uneasiness and weight that comes with any form of happiness. And basically, what I mean by that is just like no matter something that I've noticed for a while now, and something that I've just recently been like, oh my gosh, this is actually becoming like an issue, is back in the day, like a couple years ago, I would say a year or two before like COVID, I will notice that like no matter what activity that I'm doing, or no matter who I'm hanging out with, which I didn't hang out with many people back then, um, was that no matter what, I kind of felt a little bit unhappy. Like I had no reason to be upset, and I wasn't. It's not that I was upset, but it's more as if I was like, there's a constant weight on me that's preventing me from feeling the way that I think I should. I stopped really finding joy in a lot of my hobbies that I really enjoyed. Like, I feel uneasy no matter really what situation I'm in, even if it's something that's like a really big or really awesome thing that's happening. And I feel like that's an issue. So, I'm going to talk about it. So, like I said, first time I noticed it was hobbies years ago. But a big time that I noticed it was when I got into my first relationship. And when I was in it, I got into it. I got into it in 2021, and I was in my mid teens. And I noticed that even though it's supposed to be like a really good thing, and it's supposed to be something that's happy, I feel like as if I wasn't myself, or I couldn't be myself, and that I was always in a state of uncomfort, perhaps. Self aware to an extent that I know that I'm not in the state that I want to be in terms of mentally, physically, emotionally. And although that I've developed a lot in all three of those areas since then, it's still not enough now for me to be content with sharing myself with another person in any of those ways, even though I've done it, and in the thoughts of uncomfort and uneasiness have maintained throughout the years. But back to the original thing. So I definitely noticed that I was unable to share a lot about myself or what I was feeling. I wasn't able to be as present and involved as I wanted to be because I just simply couldn't. In my head, I couldn't like wrap myself around the idea of being like, this person wants to talk to me a lot. Why is that? Like, why? Why is this happening? This is fake. Or this is some sort of temporary thing, which it was, but part of that was also because of my own lacking. And I feel like I have progressed in that matter, probably the most, in terms of emotional development, because I'm able to act as act as a normal person, even if I'm feeling these thoughts. Because back then, I would just kind of shut down and not being able to, or I was unable to express how I felt, and I still don't as much. But now I know how to process it. But another big thing with terms of that is physically and mentally, like, I feel like I'm not smart enough to be with someone, or I'm not in the shape that I want to be in. But I feel like it's a double-edged sword because what if I get to those places or I get to those stages and I'm still feeling like this? Because back then I thought about my state of being even more than I do now because I'm a bit more happy with myself because I put in some work. Still got a long way to go, but we're working towards it. But I back then I would be like, if I was this way, I would have no issues. It was much more unrealistic back then, but even now, I have an ideal version of myself, but I do realize that I still might not be happy with how I am, and that's a real possibility, and it probably will come to fruition. But I have to see because realistically, if I get to that point where I want to be in all those ways, emotionally, physically, mentally, and I still feel this hollowness in everything that I do that's supposed to bring me joy, or this constant unease, or this constant weight on my shoulders, then I really don't know how to proceed. It's really just something that weighs down on everything that I do because I like having a good time with my friends, but every time that I hang out with them, which isn't much because I constantly dodge them because I feel like I'm not really supposed to be there because I feel like I overthink and then I get in my head too much. So I'm just like I'm just not gonna go, or I'm not gonna play with you guys tonight. Whatever, right? Even now, even though I can handle it better, I feel like it's a weight on me. But it's affected things for a while. So for a long time, I abstained from connecting myself to someone in that way. But I felt as if I was ready for it, and I launched into another thing again. And I wasn't. I'm not. And I'm an idiot because I felt decent because I felt like I was able to reach a stage where I was able to tone it down the extent, or at least keep it in a certain area where I'm like, okay, like it's cool, it's there, but I can focus through it. And it's become very hard to focus through it. But I'm going to keep trying because at some point in my life, I need to be the person that I want to be. There's only one person who can make that happen, being me, this guy. So, yeah, I'm gonna keep trying, because I don't want to feel like I don't belong in a place forever, or I don't want to feel constant weight on my shoulders for everything. Um, a lot of it might be like deprecation, which it might be, probably is, which is why I think, which is why a part of me thinks that it's self improvement related. So if I improve myself, then I won't feel as weighed down by my own whatever. I don't even know what it is. I don't know how to stop it. I hope that's what stops it. But, even surrounded by joy, I feel distressed. So, but it's okay. You know, hopefully I'll get through it. Self improvement, we're doing it, and we're gonna lock in because I can't be a loser forever. Maybe that's my problem. Maybe I'm attaching my ideal self with not being a loser. So until I reach it, I'll internally think I'm always a loser. Now I've just given myself more to think about. But I don't know. Self acceptance. Maybe that's what I need to do. But I don't think I'll be able to do that until I get to the stage of life where I want to be in the three criteria in which I've been talking about. So that's it for now. Yeah. New video soon. So see you guys.